Hey guys, what's up? It's Jason Hamburg. Welcome back to my series where I kind of break down the things to think about when you first getting into riding. You just bought a dirt bike for yourself, your family members, your kids, and just kind of trying to share some knowledge that I've gained over the last 20 some years of riding, and make the experience as enjoyable as possible, as quickly as possible for you, so that you love it and you want to keep doing it. Intro. All right, so far in this series, we've talked about safety gear, we've talked about tools, we've talked about parts, maintenance, kind of the expendable things that you're going to use all the time. The last video in this series, I just want to talk about the very basic ideas around actually going out and riding, some things that you should think about, some things that you should consider, so that you're just having a more enjoyable experience out on the track or the trails or wherever that might be. There's a ton of resources available online, so I don't expect that this is going to be the be-all, end-all. It's just some of my own personal thoughts and things that I try to tell people about when I find out that they're first getting into riding. So the very first thing that I would recommend is you need to figure out where and what you can ride. My big recommendation there would be talk to the local shop, wherever you bought your bike or the place where you can get your parts and service and all that stuff done. Talk to the people there. They probably ride or know people who ride and can point you at least in the right direction on places to go, people to ride with, local groups or clubs, that sort of thing. For example, in my local town, every Tuesday night I host a group ride and I kind of alternate difficulty. And I think in a lot of communities, something like that happens. So you might be able to go out on a beginner or an easy group ride night, meet some people who ride, and kind of get somebody showing you around. Similarly, if you talk to someone at your local shop, they might be able to point you in the right direction of one of their sponsored riders or something like that. And that person could take you out, show you some different areas around town, and kind of just get you going in the right direction as far as where you can ride in your community. The next thing that I want to talk about is just kind of the idea of limiting your expectations. I think if you're just starting out, it's really easy to get down the rabbit hole of watching videos on Instagram and YouTube and kind of setting the bar maybe too high compared to where you're probably actually going to end up being. Realize that dirt biking is really hard, and most of what you see online is going to be professionals or semi-professionals who are doing it at a really high level and have been doing it for a really long time. So it's good to limit your expectations both on skill set as well as on fitness. Dirt biking is really physically demanding, especially if you've never done it before. You're going to be not particularly efficient in how you move your body. You're also just going to be using muscles that you've never used before. So expect to be tired. Make sure you're super hydrated. You're trying to eat, well and fuel your body with good kind of ingredients so that you're not going to go out and feel sick to your stomach or be dehydrated and be cramping up, all that sort of thing. Just a heads up, it's really hard and you're going to be bad at it. But it's okay as long as you manage those expectations and you just slowly work towards getting better every single time you go out. Building on that, one of the most appealing things about riding dirt bikes, or really any hobby for that matter, is that it offers a structured way for you to challenge yourself both physically and mentally. I think it's really fun and an enjoyable experience to challenge yourself. Don't necessarily compare yourself to others. Compare yourself today to yourself yesterday and just work on getting better within your own kind of realm of skill set and physical ability. I think it's important to kind of put some structure around the type of riding that you're doing if you're serious about getting better. I'll put a link somewhere here. I did a video about the process of getting better and how to think about challenging yourself in a way that's structured and will actually improve your riding over time rather than kind of plateauing at a certain level. And the last thing that I want to talk about that I see happen way too frequently, and it's really frustrating for me, is when people put labels on who they are as a rider or the type of rider that they are. They say, oh, I'm just an off-road person, or I just ride motocross. Ultimately, There's so many different genres of dirt biking and ways that you can have fun on a dirt bike. When you're just starting out, experiment and try all of the different things. And eventually you might find that, yeah, you prefer one thing over the other. But if you're riding a bunch of different genres of terrain and styles, you're going to end up being a better rider. You're going to meet all sorts of different people. And in the end, I think it just mixes it up and it keeps it fresh and fun. I see some people and they go to the same track and do the same laps over and over and over again. And eventually they kind of get themselves burned out. Same happens with off-road people who go to the same trail and ride the same trail over and over and over again. So challenge yourself and expand on the type of riding that you do, because ultimately that's going to make things more fun. It's going to keep things fresh and make you a better rider in the long run. That kind of brings an end to this series. I really kept things super, super high level. If you have questions or you're curious about any of the things that I've talked about in this video or in any of this series of videos, please let me know in the comments, send me a message on Instagram. I'm happy to answer them. And who knows, maybe if this series does well, I can do another one that goes into a little more detail about different things depending on what people want to learn more about. But yeah, in the end, I'm super excited that you just got a dirt bike or you're just getting into it or wanting to take it more seriously. Glad to have you, and hopefully this series has helped you get yourself up to speed and just have more fun riding, working on, and experiencing dirt bikes in general. So until next time, thank you.